You two wannabe businessmen, don't even look at my apartment. You're not getting a single cent. Gloria's hands trembled with rage as she stared at the forged loan documents Chad and Blake had presented to her Richmond bank, using her apartment as collateral for their latest get-rich-quick scheme without her knowledge or consent. The 64-year-old woman had discovered their betrayal through a confused call from her banker, who wanted to confirm the equity loan application that bore her apparently forged signature. You two wannabe businessmen, don't even look at my apartment. You're not getting a single cent. Gloria's voice cut through their stammered explanations about family investment opportunities and promises of shared profits from their cryptocurrency mining venture. Chad's shock at being caught was matched only by his indignation that Gloria wasn't grateful for their attempt to include her in what they described as a guaranteed money-making opportunity. His assumption that mothers existed to finance their adult children's business fantasies revealed how little he understood about legal boundaries, personal property, or basic respect for other people's assets. Blake's supporting role in the scheme became clear as Gloria discovered he'd been coaching Chad on emotional manipulation techniques designed to pressure elderly family members into financing young entrepreneurs placed at O'Leary. Dreams. Their partnership had evolved from friendship into a systematic approach to exploiting family relationships for venture capital, with Gloria's apartment representing their most valuable target. The revelation that this wasn't their first attempt at financial fraud came when Gloria's investigation uncovered similar schemes targeting Blake's grandmother and Chad's ex-girlfriend's mother. Their pattern of identifying vulnerable women with property and attempting to gain control through forged documents or emotional manipulation painted them as predators rather than legitimate businessmen seeking investment. Gloria's realization that Harold had been secretly encouraging their efforts, hoping to cash out her apartment to fund his own retirement dreams, transformed her family conflict into a comprehensive betrayal by the three men she'd trusted most in her life. The conspiracy to treat her primary asset as a family piggy bank revealed how little any of them valued her autonomy or financial security. The confrontation that followed revealed years of simmering resentment about Gloria's financial independence and her refusal to subsidize the expensive lifestyles that Chad and Harold felt entitled to maintain. Their assumption that her apartment existed primarily to solve their financial problems showed how completely they'd ignored her own retirement planning and security needs. Chad's attempts to justify the forged loan application as helping family crumbled when Gloria produced evidence of his previous failed ventures, including the food truck business that had collapsed after 3 months and the online marketing scheme that had cost his investors thousands of dollars. His track record of entrepreneurial disasters made his promises about cryptocurrency profits seem laughably optimistic. Blake's role as the mastermind became apparent when Gloria discovered he'd been researching her property values and mortgage history for months, building a comprehensive plan to extract maximum equity through legal manipulation and family pressure. His treatment of Gloria's apartment as a business opportunity rather than someone's home revealed the calculating nature of their friendship with Chad. The discovery that Harold had provided Blake with Gloria's personal financial information, including bank statements and property documents, represented the deepest betrayal in their 30-year marriage. His willingness to compromise his wife's security for a share of her assets transformed their relationship conflict into potential criminal conspiracy charges. Gloria's investigation into Blake's background revealed a pattern of targeting older women through their adult children, using friendship and business partnerships to gain access to family financial information. His systematic approach to elderly financial abuse made him a career criminal rather than a misguided young entrepreneur, and Chad his willing accomplice. When Gloria threatened to involve law enforcement, all three men's reactions revealed their true understanding of the legal implications of their actions. Their panic suggested they knew exactly how criminal their behavior was, despite their attempts to frame it as family, business, or investment opportunities. Gloria's decision to press charges surprised everyone involved, as they'd assumed family loyalty would prevent her from seeking legal protection against people who'd systematically planned to defraud her of her most valuable asset. Her refusal to prioritize their comfort over her own financial security marked the end of her willingness to enable their exploitative behavior. The criminal investigation that followed revealed the full scope of Blake's operations. including similar schemes in 3 other states that had successfully separated elderly women from hundreds of thousands of dollars in property equity. Chad's involvement made him part of a criminal enterprise that had destroyed multiple families through financial elder abuse. Harold's attempts to minimize his role collapsed when investigators discovered his communications with Blake about Gloria's daily routines, financial habits, and emotional vulnerabilities. His systematic betrayal of his wife's privacy and security for personal financial gain made him an integral part of the conspiracy rather than an innocent bystander. The legal proceedings forced Chad to confront the reality that his lifestyle of failed businesses and expensive hobbies had been subsidized by criminal activity rather than entrepreneurial success. His shocked realization that Blake had been using him to access family resources revealed how completely he'd been manipulated while believing himself to be an equal partner. Gloria's apartment remained secure under protective legal orders that prevented any future attempts to use it as collateral without court supervision. The criminal charges against all 3 men served as public notice that financial elder abuse would face serious legal consequences regardless of family relationships. 2 years later, Gloria was living peacefully in her Richmond apartment with new locks, updated legal protections, and a restraining order that kept Harold, Chad, and Blake away from her property and personal life. Her willingness to prioritize her own security over family harmony had saved her from financial ruin while exposing a criminal conspiracy that had targeted multiple vulnerable women. Sometimes the most loving thing you could do was refuse to enable criminal behavior, even when the criminals were family members who mistook your assets for their business opportunities and your trust for weakness that could be exploited for personal gain.